Gentlemen, you want an aesthetic body, but what does that even mean anyways? Well, an aesthetic body is typically defined by three things: a proportionate physique, a low body fat percentage, and an emphasis on muscle growth in the upper back, shoulders, chest, and upper arm. An aesthetic physique isn't necessarily huge, i.e. something akin to Sam Sulek, but is rather lean and proportionate in favor of just sheer size. Now that we've got an understanding of what an aesthetic physique is, how do you achieve it? Well, the first thing that you want to do before you even pick up a weight is by analyzing your physique right now with an unfiltered lens. Are you fat? Are you super skinny? Or are you maybe skinny fat like I was? Once you've determined your body type, it is time to lift! Okay, no, it is not. It is time to eat. But eat what exactly? Well, this is why you figured out your body type. If you're skinny, you're gonna go on what's called a bulk. And if you're overweight, you're gonna go on what's called a cut. And if you're skinny fat, well, I'll touch on that in a minute. If you need to bulk, you will be eating in a calorie surplus, i.e. 300 to 500 calories above your maintenance. I've left links in the description to help you determine what the calorie amount is so you can gain the proper amount of weight per week. So if you don't already know what that number is, make sure to check out that link after the video. Now, you have a spectrum of diet options to choose from that range between a dirty bulk and a clean bulk. If you eat completely dirty, i.e. junk food and fast food, you will gain fat much quicker and you will feel worse, but calories will be much easier to get down. The cleaner you eat, the better you will feel and the better you will look, but you will have a really hard time getting your calorie goal in for the day since cleaner foods tend to be more satiating or filling. I prefer to lean towards a largely clean bulk, but I'm certainly not afraid of fast food. Maybe 40-60 in my life. A solid balance in my opinion, but I know everybody's opinion on that is different. So do what works best for you. Now, if you need to cut, you'll be eating in a calorie deficit, i.e. 300 to 500 calories below your maintenance. The only real important thing to note about cutting is to make sure that you're hitting your macros. For optimal muscle growth, the body needs 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Easy to hit on a bulk, but much more difficult to hit on a cut. So make sure that you're eating foods that are high in protein content, but low in calorie content, like chicken. Now, on to the skinny fat problem. In my opinion, it's best to determine this on a personal level. If you're happy with your weight but not your physique, do recomp, i.e. maintaining weight by eating at your maintenance, but also eating a lot cleaner so that you're shedding fat while also gaining muscle. If you want to gain weight, bulk up, and if you want to lose it, cut down. Now, it's also important to know what weight you're aiming for. I'm 5'11" and bulking to 175 pounds, and that's been a mark that I've learned is typically good for aesthetics because much more just kind of makes me look like a beefcake if I were to hit that weight. Once you've reached your ideal weight after 4, 5, or 6 months of cutting or bulking, you're going to perform what's called recomposition, which, as I mentioned earlier, is simply eating clean and eating at maintenance. Perform recomp until you land between 10 and 13% body fat, and boom, you're golden. Now, while you're doing all that, you also need to be in the gym and lifting. Your routine isn't going to change whether you're cutting or bulking or maintaining or whatever. It's going to be the same throughout, but ideally you're going to be increasing weights and increasing difficulty as you put on muscle. Now, you should be working out at least 3 days a week, but I personally prefer 4. Now, I don't have enough time or money in my production budget to drone on about detailed movements and exercise splits, and I can't imagine that you want to listen to that either, so I'm going to sum it up as best as possible. If you're working 3 or 6 days a week, I recommend a push-pull leg split. If you're working 4 days a week, I recommend a chest and shoulder, back, leg, and tricep bicep forearm split. If you're unfamiliar with workout splits and training fundamentals, check out this video in the top right corner once you're done with this one. Okay, cool. You've got a diet, you know what your split is, now what? Now you're going to focus on specific muscle groups to emphasize the aesthetic build. First and foremost, a hallmark of an aesthetic physique is broad shoulders with a V-taper or a back that looks like an upside down Dorito. As such, you're going to want to put heavier emphasis on working each individual part of the shoulder rather than doing a movement for the whole muscle group, as well as putting extra emphasis on your upper back. For your back routine, make sure to incorporate a workout for your rear delts so that you fully round off your shoulders. And yes, you should be doing rear delts on your back day because they are technically a pull movement. You can do face pulls, dumbbell reverse flies, or dumbbell rear delt rows. They all work fine for rear delts. Now, some other solid workouts for your back include lat pull downs for lats, back extensions for your lower back, and deadlifts. Okay, for the medial and front delts, i.e. the rest of your shoulders, I'd recommend pairing dumbbell or machine fly flies alongside a shoulder press, and that will hit both the middle and the front part of your shoulder. Another key component of the aesthetic physique is a well-built chest. The upper pec is going to be the part of the chest that adds the most shape to your man boobs, so it's important to emphasize those. Any incline press movement should do the trick, as an incline press is going to put emphasis on the top part of your chest. For your arms, make sure to focus on forearms more than you already do. I know everybody loves biceps and triceps, but your forearms are some of the most visible parts of your body, especially in the summer months. So do right by them by incorporating workouts for both the top and the bottom of your forearm, especially the brachioradialis or the top, since that's the bulk of your forearm. Try out hammer curls or reverse curls for the top portion of your forearm and forearm curls for the lower portion. If you're trying to build out your arms more in general, try emphasizing triceps more if you aren't already. They are much larger than the bicep and will add way more volume and shape to your arm when they are well developed. Also, whenever you start cutting down, you're definitely going to want to make sure that there are abs to cut down too. One of the most rewarding things you can get whenever you start cutting is the visibility of your abs. So, no matter what phase you're in, start working your core, especially your lower abs. Believe me, you will thank me in a couple months when you have a V-line. Now, the best way to hit lower abs is mountain climbers, reverse crunches, or leg raises with some sort of machine. You can also try cable crunches, but I'm personally not very good at them, so I've kind of got a vendetta against them. Anyways, finally, work your legs, please. The last thing that you need are chicken legs holding up the Greek god physique. Beyond just working out quads and hams, make sure that you're putting in adequate times for both your calves and your glutes. Nobody ever disrespects a man with a dumper, but a flat ass just doesn't look awesome if it's super undeveloped. Okay, before I finish up, I want to run through a note that a lot of other self-improvement YouTubers will just not talk about. And that is that unless you have really, really good genetics, you probably won't have the physique of David Lade, even if you train perfectly for years. You could have narrow clavicles, an uneven rib cage, pectus excavatum, uneven abs, long bicep insertions, or really bad scoliosis like I do that just makes my back look a little silly. And that's all okay. We're all imperfect in some way or another, so before you do anything, remember that the only person you should really be comparing yourself to is yourself from a week ago, a month ago, a year ago, etc. This guide is aimed to help you do the most with what you have and help you become the best version of yourself, not become someone else entirely. That's ridiculous. Anyways, that's the guide. If this was helpful, please subscribe and like the video. God bless, and see ya.